Got to look on the bright side of life. We do need to look on the bright side of life, no matter what. Like if you're an insomniac, hey, look on the bright side. Only 3 more sleeps till Christmas. If you breed homing pigeons, when you release them and you think you've lost one, you haven't lost a homing pigeon. What you've lost is a pigeon. Got to look on the bright side, but it's easy to look back with romance, isn't it? Easy to look back in rose-coloured glasses. You look back on the 80s. Oh, the 80s were where it was at. We used to ride our bikes around till dark. There was no tech. Had all the freedom. But the 80s sucked as well. Look at New York in the 80s. You couldn't take a piss in New York without getting bloody mugged in the 80s. You look at the road toll in Australia in the 80s. Big car accidents. Can't get too rose-coloured. Can't get too reminiscent. Can't get too romantic. Got to be real at the same time because, yeah, it was cool, man. You go back even further and people had morals. In the 1920s, people had morals. We all had morals in the 20s. You look back on wars and famines, and it wasn't even that long ago you had to build a castle with a moat around it so that your neighbours didn't come and kick your door in and rape your daughters. Got to be real. Got to be romantic and real at the same time. Because the world is waking up from a spell right now, and if you're just waking up and you're seeing that there's something a bit fishy, and you look back all of the events, they're all linked. And it goes back even further than that, because the world's changed. It isn't changing, the world has changed. And some of the people who've been using certain tools to control money, control education, control people, control the laws, control their mates, government and big business taking care of each other, it's all changed. They had it. Now they lost control of it because they didn't see the change coming. They got too greedy. We're looking at bullies who've never been bullied. You know that kid on YouTube that thinks he's tough and all of a sudden he gets fucking whacked by the fat kid or the little skinny kid. Then he realises in a split second, whoa, maybe I'm not as important as I thought I was. Maybe I overestimated myself. Maybe I'm in trouble now, and they are bricking it because the world has changed, not changing, and they didn't change fast enough because they can't. Because big business and their government mates can't move fast enough. The world is at lightning speed, and a lot of it's got to do with technology, and a lot of what they were trying to clamp down and ramp up is stale. Education, stale. University, almost null and void. They're just rechurning old bullshit. That curriculum sucks. All you got to do is get on the internet. You're much smarter than doing a 4-year uni course. Laws didn't move fast enough and antiquated. These laws. They haven't kept up. We don't need them. Kids changed. They try to ramp kids down into a curriculum. And now there's more kids on all these drugs than there ever was, and half of that's got to do with potentially diet and a couple of other things and maybe vaccinations or whatever, and the rest of it is that this curriculum just sucks more and more and more. And we've weakened them down. We've got to take some responsibility for that as well. Connections changed, the way we connect, the type of connections. Our accountability has changed. Spirituality's changed. And all of these big players just haven't moved fast enough. So we've all changed. And kids are different these days. They try to create minions out of these kids. They've created monsters for them. Because these kids will fix this. Don't worry about that. Just can't pump them full of fear. You've got to promote good, healthy, strong people that see the future and have trust and faith and think positively. That's all it takes. It's up to us. You pop out the other side of that into reality. No more control. World's changed. So the romance starts here. History's being made now, right now, and it's up to us, it's up to you to decide how it unfolds, what your role is in it, how much responsibility you need to take, and how much you want to help other people step into it to get romantic now. And it all works out. Everything all works out. We've all got those moments in our life when you look back and think, how did that work? You were down and out on your feet in another country, trying to make something work. Or I looked back in some of those businesses that I was trying and people just appeared at exactly the right time. Those businesses would have folded if I just hadn't met that person. Or you're travelling and someone just drives along the road and it's pretty crazy the way it all works out, but it always does, especially if you're in your truth. And make sure you're not fighting for what happened. We're not fighting for the romance of the past. We're fighting for the romance of the present. We're understanding exactly what this romance will look like in hindsight, because it is difficult to get your head around. And then we're owning our shit in it. And how to pick your battles. Technology is a big part of the future, like it or not. And there is a middle ground. You're probably going to have a digital ID. You're probably going to have to use some sort of fucked up cryptocurrency before we step into the better cryptocurrencies, or at the same time. There's going to be a segue period. It's all very exciting. Gotta look on the bright side of life. It's all very exciting. You gotta make pain your friend, though. I keep saying it. This is not unfair. You're not special. People have been going through this shit since the dawn of time. This is just our challenge. The world is not perfect. It never will be. This is the segue period. Own it. Live it. Cry it out. Jump with joy. It all happens at the same time. Romance and reality. And the future doesn't look that rosy either in certain parts as well. When they invent time machines, what we're going to have is a bunch of kids sitting in the back seat of the time machine saying, are we then yet? Anyway, haven't seen you for a while. Sort of a bit dirty, whatever. Anyway, I'll see you soon.